Hi, my name is Aiwei, and I'm currently a Year 2 Psychology and Linguistics double major student.
So you
Yeah,
did I heard you did a joint book on depression. Is it about depression or something?
yeah, it's something like that. So, recently I had a project which started last year, and it was actually inspired by my experience as a teen. Because when I was a teenager, at around 13 years old until 16 years old, I actually experienced depression. So I felt very depressed during that period. I had a lot of social anxiety issues, and a lot of bottled up emotions. But during that period, what helped me was not just my friends, but also music. So recently, I published an art book called Songs for July. It's like a shared project I have with my friends that really talks about how art and music can help to reduce depression.
So can you recall what are
The
the reasons
reasons,
for the cause you fall into that kind of
depression. I don't know, like some things, there are some emotions that you can't help but feel. I think that period was very strange period. I didn't understand myself very well. So, like I started in primary school. In primary school, when I was in P6, I started having the symptoms already. I just felt very self-conscious. Like in class, I didn't know how to express myself freely. And then when people talk to me, like a simple conversation can make me feel very nervous because I didn't really understand like how to navigate the social context lah. So I gave myself a lot of pressure. I think from there on in P6 I kind of ignored the issue, so I didn't seek counselling. I ignored it and then I thought I was fine because I didn't want to admit. So when it carried on in secondary school, 13 years old onwards, then it started worsening. So it spread to my conversation with friends and my family also.
did your family or friends know about
Mainly my family and my friends. Some of them knew about it, but we only talked about it when we were older, at around 14 or 15 years old. Because at the start, my friends know when we're young, you don't really talk about these kind of things, right? And with my friends, we weren't very close yet. So we only really opened up when we were older, and then we realized, oh, both of us had the same issue. That's why we had tensions, because we both had conflict. And when we were both in conflicting positions, we didn't really talk about it because we weren't close enough. So things really take time. It took time for both of us to realize how to handle our emotions. But the first to know about it was my family. Then they talked to me and I shared more about my feelings with them. So they understood why I had like deep depressed moods, and they tried to encourage me to get into counseling, which was why in secondary school, after I talked to my parents, then I sought my school counselor to talk about it. Yeah, so she also knew apart from my family. Yeah, it helped a lot. With a counselor, sometimes you need someone in a third perspective to understand what you're going through. Because if you're in your initial position as a person who goes through depression, you don't want to admit it. Because depression in a Singapore society or maybe in other society, the context is that depression or mental health is sometimes seen as a weakness. Yeah, so people don't want to admit that they have it because they don't want to think that there's something wrong with them. So I kind of felt that way, but I knew that I had to admit it. But my counselor really helped me to gain insight and see that, oh, I was really depressed. Because if I didn't ask her for help, I probably would just have a very incomplete perception of what I was going through. Yeah, so she helped me in identifying where I was feeling sad over and how to deal with the emotions.
So how did you overcome
How
that
to overcome.
situation? Yeah, and what did you do?
It started with talking. Like, I think seeking help is the most important thing. So I sought help first. Then I started doing a lot of positive thinking. So the scary thing about depression is that it can eat away at you because it's a cycle, it's a vicious cycle. So the main feature I feel that defined my depression was like repeated negative thoughts. Like the thoughts would occur almost every day. And every day, even if I didn't want to think about it, the feelings would just come. Like in class or when I talk to my friends, I would have thoughts in my mind, like thoughts saying like things like, oh, you're bad at socializing. You shouldn't be talking to your friends. I think they don't like me. Things like very negative self-doubt. And my counselor advised me like the first thing to combat it is to think positive thoughts and like write it in your journal, kind of like condition your brain to ignore the negative thoughts and really feel more confident. So that was the first step. Yeah. Music helped me also. I just listen to music to soothe myself. So when I felt very sad, I just listen to YouTube. I found music that I like. Then I tried to calm myself down using using this music. Sometimes emotional music can help also. But so long as we have an alternative thing to pay attention to, then we will stop paying attention to the negative thoughts, and it kind of helped. It distracted me from the negative thoughts. And then there are some some songs with very inspirational lyrics also. So yeah, those songs really helped me. Oh, this book. Oh, okay. So this is my book that I mentioned just now. It's called Songs for July, and I did this book because I realized a lot of my friends and I think everyone in general, we all have times where we feel very sad. So, but how do we resolve the sadness? Is mainly through other things like music, or sometimes art therapy can help too. So I decided to do this book by combining all my friends' artworks and my family's artworks and my own artworks, and combine it into a tangible book that can cheer people up. So this book actually, it's a storybook. So I have my friends' artworks and my artworks inside. And what I did was I kind of invited my overseas friends as well to share about their experience with unhappy emotions. Then I had this friend, her name is Jessie, and she's actually from America. But sometimes she's in a very difficult situation. She was separated from her partner, so she felt very unhappy over that. But how she coped was she did self-portraits of herself, and she did self-portraits of other people. So I invited her to share what song she liked. So her favorite song was Spectrum, and she said it really moved her forward. Then she invited me to draw the song out. So I drew the song out. I wrote some poetry based on the song. Then I drew the song out. So this is a snippet of the book. It shows my drawing of the song Spectrum, and it also shows Jessie, which is with her short bio as well as her own sharing on how she used music to cope and how she used art to cope. Yeah, so apart from that, I also feature her artwork. Yeah, so in this book, it's really just a compilation of all my friends and my stories on how we cope with emotions through art. That's why I decided to do this book. Yeah, in July.
Yes.
Because July is a turning point. It's a turning point where we feel sad. It's a midpoint in the year. So in a way, it symbolizes a turning point where we feel sad. And if for depression, with people with depression, I think everyone can have a chance to move past that point if they choose to seek help. Yeah, seeking help is very important.